Hello and welcome back to the bustling hive of activity that is the Lordsmarch Plaza. Actually, it's quite quiet here apart from the NPCs. Might be to do with the fact that most of the Americas is still at work. Well, I've just finished my jobs for the day. I've got two sleepy dogs down at my feet, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to try and record the level 14 episode of the Battles of Brother Purple. Found the other fountain this time to sit next to on this bright and sunny day, which is exactly how it is outside. It's unseasonably warm in the UK. We've got temperatures in the mid-20s, which for early September is very unusual, and bright sunshine. Almost a bit too warm, but we'll take it over pouring rain. What have I got noted down this time? I once or twice I ran into trouble with opponents casting slow. There were some druids in the Wizard of Wines in Ravenloft, which slowed me for just a couple of seconds, which isn't too bothersome, but there was something else that slowed for a good minute and a half. I'm guessing the antidote to that is haste potions. I don't carry any at the moment, but I must remember, I've got it written down, to go and collect some. Um, what else have we got? Yes, this we've probably noted it already, but this new light attack can double strike, so you're getting two lots of 70 health healed, even with the Reaper nerf. So that's very nice to have, and I need to remember to keep throwing that into the rotation. Probably whether or not we need a heal. If it's on off cooldown, it should just get thrown in. What else did I find? I found these Garstone lenses in Ravenloft. Given that our next life is Artificer, maybe that could be a thing. Although I tend to wear on caster lives goggles of whatever my speciality is going to be. So in that case, evocation and insightful evocation. The magnetism and devotion would be on the thrumming spark cord belt, which is part of the caster set for level 10 for Ravenloft, and we do have one of those, so I don't see myself wearing those, but I just thought I'd keep them and show them. So I've been doing a little research about that. I really don't want to do the Warforged and mess about gathering gear for that, so I thought we could use the generic caster gear that we already have. That being the case, maybe, as one of you suggested, we could try a gnome, and I'm guessing we would then need the two feats, is it Construct Essence and Improved Construct Essence, to end up with 100% healing from Repair spell line. I think you can take the first one at the very start, and the second one you have to wait while 12 to collect. You do get a bonus Artificer feat at 12, so that could be a thing. Anyway, we're talking monk this time around, aren't we? So let's show you where we are at. I've carried on pushing on in the falconry tree. We've got our wisdom to hit and damage back now, so we're back in the water stance. And we have our two bird attacks. So I need to remember, because that's one area we fell down without them, I need to remember to go for those whenever there's a Reaper or a nasty red crown pops up, because we do have half decent DCs on those now. Bearing in mind we found this very lucky piece of random loot with Assassinate 5 and Fire Law 9. Fire Law, you'll recall, is helping our Where is it? Incinerating wave. The spell power side of it goes from our melee power, but I'm told that the crit side is on spell crit, so we have force and fire spell crit on our gear to try to help that improve. Now this time around, when we get the deadly instinct going and we get the bonus DC to the tactical feats, I'm almost certain stun is part of the tactical feats, so we should see a nice extra boost to the chances of that wave doing full damage. And even more important then, that I remember to throw it in every time, you know, as a lead in to knock down the opponents. Between that and placed well, that wave and a whirlwind should almost decimate most packs, I'm hoping. Famous last words. So, what have we got to show you today? Well, I've just completed the planar ice chain, the level 12 chain over there. I struggled a bit with the whodunit quest. It was a bit less straightforward than the one I showcased last life. I think it was Bernadotte this time who'd done it, and the door that is supposed to be next to her when she drops the key, I struggled to find it because it seems to be through a secret door, but I did eventually get there, so that was good. Now these we can do in any order this time, can't we? So let's go for the end one first. We'll do it topsy-turvy. We'll do the Eyes of Stone. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that 20-minute shield clickable at level 20, or is it 21, the sapphire studded belt buckle from the other man's treasure. Death Ward. Okay, no changes to the gear, by the way. It's all still the same stuff we've had more or less since level 10, since Ravenloft. I've added the golden greaves at 11 and found this item of random loot to just throw in there, but aside from that, it hasn't changed. It'll be changing next level with the Shan kit, I would imagine. Okay. Nice freeze on the red crown there. I should have used the bird attacks on it. I've literally just acquired the bird attacks, so swapped the keys around yet again. So that's going to make for a bit of a challenge and an adjustment. I really should give myself 1 or 2 quests before recording for you folks, so I'm not stumbling and bumbling through. What's this warning? Ah, okay. Now my resistances are not particularly amazing, so I need to get used to throwing the bird attacks in regularly again, because if you'll recall, they are our source of regenerating deadly instinct charges. Do we see anything here? Not yet. making good use of the bird attacks. I think I mentioned it before, but if I haven't, one of you mentioned that... is the thing there? No. One of you mentioned that the bird attacks, although they all nominally have separate cooldowns, they actually all share the same cooldown, because the bird animation has to finish one attack before it will start off on another. I'm doing well with that part, the bird things. I'm not too disappointed with that. The bits where I could do with improving is the healing strike and the and that one. Healing strike and the incinerating wave. That needs to be used way more often.
You find the stone to flesh salve you need inside the strongbox.
Let's bob that on the bar somewhere. Oh, for a DDO. Still, we're not exactly slow, are we? Okay, now bird attacks here could do well, couldn't they, against these big single targets? Now I know one of you mentioned that the bird can actually there's a knockdown here. Oh, 46 in Reaper, nice one. There's a knockdown and a blind. Apparently even the knockdown can affect Reapers, so I'm presuming maybe that can work against things you wouldn't normally expect would be susceptible, like those elementals we just faced. So I'll keep trying them both. Nice job. I think both the knockdown and blind worked on that one. And the old paralyze is still alive and well. We're into the teens now in heroic and it's still working very well. One of you mentioned the other day that it would still work half decently into early epic, which just goes to show what a nice find that is. If you're lucky enough to find one, I would totally recommend having a go at this stick build. No more bells of opening, I'm afraid. This last one you need to speak to them twice for the quest to progress. I've often just spoken once and ended up getting stuck. Oops. The experience key, as you might have gathered, is next to my key to trigger the bird. I've got that on F and C, and obviously X is for the XP. Shall we take that to remind me to invest in some. Let's do that. I'm almost certain that would cancel out a slow effect if we happen to get one.
You have freed all of the coin lords from the Medusa's curse.
Ooh. Didn't fancy that red crown there. Don't really fancy that one either. Nice job. Every now and again that fist of iron hits for a nasty nasty shot. Oh, number 4. Threw the healing strike in there as we'd taken some damage. Nice job.
This dusty chamber appears to be some sort of maintenance room.
Took me a long time in the game to find out that if you turn away from the stare of a Medusa, it can't turn you to stone, as logical as that seems. I like to free these guards to provide a bit of a distraction during the end fight. Try and get rid of some of these, although I think they do respawn. You see, the guards are keeping her occupied quite nicely there. Oh, stunned us. Health-wise, we're doing very nicely. Oh. The deflect arrows is serving us well against those archers in the background.
You stopped their plans for now, but the monster nation will surely return to threaten Stormreach again.
I won't say it was pretty, but we did that quite handily, didn't we? With a bit more familiarity with the way I've got the things laid out now. I'm hoping it's not going to change too much now between here and the cap. All I'm going to do is build back up in the falconry tree, kind of to where we were before. Oh, what am I doing? So, what would we take? The quality hit points would be nice. There's some PRR there we can take. Some more assassinate things for the bird attacks. And once we hit 20, we're going to go in for the deadly instinct. Of course, there's a third core, which isn't bad either. Melee power, PRR, MRR. So we're just going to build up in there, steady away. With points left over, we can have some healing amp from the Aasimar tree. Maybe a bit more wisdom. And that, what's that? That's tactics DC. Now that would help for the wave and later on the Cauldron, which is the level 18 ability in the Henshin tree. But whether it's maybe if I have a few points to chuck at it, I could put them in Asimar. I think there were worse things. We could end up with the second lot of healing amp as well going into epic. I'll give it some thought. I don't think I'll be bothering with the damage against helpless, because it worked so well last life for us because we were damaging groups. We were making groups helpless rather, whereas this seems to be, at least for the moment, only managing to make one person helpless, unless that one does different. No, that's just a blind. It doesn't say it makes them helpless if it blinds them. So yeah, I don't think we have any source here of helpless AoE, so that would be of limited use as far as I'm concerned. This, however, against any kind of boss or fortified opponent like an undead, would be really strong. I've seen that in action against some golems and things in the leveling we've already done, and that was really good, so I'm very keen to have that back. Okay, we will finish off the two remaining quests in this chain, the Minotaur's one with Doris and the diplomatic immunity thing. I'll do one or two of the level 13s, maybe the blockade and the summer field assault, and then it'll be either Archons or Giant Hold. Guess maybe I might head to Giant Hold because that's definitely the softer of the two, isn't it? So that's what's in our future. I can hear this little voice in my ear saying you're rocking along quite nicely at the moment. Why don't you try and push it up towards Reaper 2? Maybe I should. Maybe I should grow a pair. Now we've got the two bird attacks, especially on a reasonable DC now. 45 pushing up towards 50 once we get the 2 more points we can have on assassinating the falconry tree, and that's not too shabby for teens in heroic. So yeah, I think we should at least in the softer content like Giant Hold, we should try and see how we go. Okay, I guess the next one might come from a Giant Hold quest. We will see. Definitely not the Crucible. I can say hand on heart I've tried the some of the ones that I've found awkward. One of you very kindly took me through the Whodunit quest, which I have done each life since, so I'm quite pleased with that. But the Crucible, I just can't do it. This would be the build to do it on, wouldn't it? The evasion for the swim would be very forgiving, and also for the plenty of traps in there. But I just lose the will to live in that initial section with the valves. And you have to mess about with hirelings as well. You all know how much I enjoy that. Speaking of which, I was wondering about the next life, the Artificer. Obviously they come with a pet dog, don't they? I thought about it. I thought, why don't you try? Especially as, unlike the Eldritch Knight we did, who didn't need really any assisting from a skeleton, the caster would be quite a bit weaker and could probably do with a tough dog to take some of the heat away and round things up so he could blast them. I think the problem I would have there, I'd get too involved in it, because I have a dog myself, and I'd get really sad each time it died. So no, I can't see me having the dog during the quests. Maybe just to pull a lever or something, but that would be about it. Right, that's it for the waffle for now. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.